Good day, Coach, and to my classmates. My name is Nicole Jane Eldakel, and my role in this video presentation is to give the overall introduction. Today, we are presenting the 14 learner-centered psychological principles, its background, and its contribution to the learner-centered learning approaches. We are also going to give our insights before the end of our presentation. And we are the BS and Math 1L, the Assassination Study Hub 1. I am Nicole Jane Eldakel, the Study Hub 1 group leader. And here's my member, Emeline Rivera, Christy Ann Manalo, Kyle Madeline Sierra, and Ryan J. De Leon. To start with, let us identify what is learner-centered. Learner-centered is a perspective that couples a focus on individual learners, their heredity, experience, perspectives, backgrounds, talents, interests, capacity, and needs. With the focus on learning, the best available knowledge about learning and how it occurs, and about teaching practices that are the most effective in promoting the highest level of motivation, learning, and achievement for all learners. Learner-centered is a reflection in practice of the learner-centered psychological principles. In the programs, practice, policies, and the people that supports learning for all. The learner-centered psychological principles apply to all learners in and outside of the school, young and old. Learner-centered is also related to the beliefs, characters, disposition, and practice of the teachers. Practice primarily created by the teachers. The 14 principles are divided into those referring to cognitive and metacognitive factors, motivational and affective factors, developmental and social factors, and individual difference factors. And now, let us identify and discuss what is cognitive and metacognitive factors.
Good day, Coach. Good day, classmate. My name is Kyle Madeline Sierra from BS Ed Math, and I am going to discuss to you the 14 learner-centered psychological principle under cognitive and metacognitive factor. The first principle, nature of the learning process. The learning of the complex subject matter is most effective when it is an intentional process of constructing meaning from information and experience. The second principle will be goals of the learning process. The successful learner over time and with the support and constructional guidance can create meaningful, coherent representation of knowledge. The third, the construction of knowledge. The successful learner can link new information with existing knowledge in meaningful ways. Knowledge widens and deepens as the student continues to build link between new information and experience and their existing knowledge base. The fourth, strategic thinking. The successful learner can create and use a repertoire of thinking and reasoning strategies to achieve complex learning goals. The fifth, thinking about thinking. Successful learners can reflect on how they think and learn, set reasonable learning or performance goals, select potentially appropriate learning strategies or method, then monitor their progress toward these goals. The sixth, context of learning. Learning is influenced by environment and factors, including cultural, technology, and constructional practices. So, learning does not occur on vacuum. Teacher is a major interact roles in the both learner and learning environment. That's all.
Good day, Coach Jude. I am Emeline Rivera from BSED Math 1L, and I'm going to discuss to you the 3 motivation affective factors. The 3 motivation affective factor is motivational and emotional influences on living, intrinsic motivation to learn, effect of motivation on effort. motivation and emotional influence to learning. What and how much is learned is influences by the motivation. Motivation to learn, in turn, it is influenced by the individual's emotional status, beliefs, interests, and goals and habits of thinking. The rich internal world of thoughts, beliefs, goals, and expectation for success or failure can enhance or influence the learner's quality of thinking and information. So, students are more motivated to engage learning because when they feel confident to do what is expected of them and perceive stable links between action and achievement, they value the subject and have a clear sense of purposes. They experience positive emotion towards learning activities and turn away from learning when they experience negative emotion and when they perceive the environment as favorable for learning. Intrinsic motivation to learn. The learner's creativity, higher order thinking, and natural curiosity all contribute to motivation to learn. Intrinsic motivation is stimulated by tasks of optimal novelty and difficulty relevant to personal interest and providing for person and choice and control. Intrinsic motivation occurs when we act without any obvious external reward. We simply enjoy an activity or see it as an opportunity to explore, learn, and actualize our potential. Efforts of motivation on effort. Acquisition of complex knowledge and skill requires extended learner effort and guided practice. Without learners' motivation to learn, the willingness to exert this effort is unlikely without coercion. Effort is another major indicator of motivation to learn. The acquisition of complex knowledge and skill demands the investment of considerable learner energy and strategic effort along with persistent over. Most of the time, parents and teachers ask the question, how can I motivate my child or my student to study harder and achieve the academic goals? True enough, motivating a student, learners to study hard can be a real pain in the beginning. But if you are really on it, you can definitely try some proven motivating strategies that will help you in pushing someone towards academic performance. You just need to profile these learners precisely.
Good day, Coach Jude. Good day, classmates. I am Christiana Manalo from 1L BSED Mathematics. My role in this video presentation is to discuss to you the topic about developmental and social factors. So the first one is about developmental influences on learning. As individuals develop, there are different opportunities and constraints for learning. Learning is most effective when differential development within and across physical, intellectual, emotional, and social domains is considered. Individuals learn best when material is appropriate to their developmental level and is presented in an enjoyable and interesting way. Because individuals develop varies across intellectual, social, emotional, and physical domains. Achievement in different instructional domains may also vary. So the second one is about social influences on learning. Learning is influenced by social interactions, interpersonal relations, and communication with others. Learning can be enhanced when the learner has an opportunity to interact and to collaborate with others on instructional tasks. Learning settings that allow for social interactions and that respect diversity, encourage flexible thinking, and social competence.
Good morning, everyone. I am Ryan J. De Leon from 1LBS EdMath. Now I am the one who will tackle about individual differences in learning, learning and diversity, standard and assessment. So, first, we have individual differences in learning. Learners have different strategies, approaches, and capabilities for learning that are a function of prior experience and heredity. Individuals are born with and develop their own capabilities and talents. In addition, through learning and social acculturation, they have acquired their own preferences for how they like to learn and the pace at which they learn. However, these preferences are not always useful in helping learners reach their learning goals. Educators need to help students examine them, learning preferences, and expand or modify them. If necessary, the interaction between learners' differences and curricular environmental condition is another key factor affecting learners' outcomes. Educators need to be sensitive of individuals' differences. In general, they also need to attend to learner perception of the degree to which these differences are accepted and adapted to by varying instructions, methods, and materials. So, in individual differences in learning, we are born with our own way to how we learn. Like for example, this modular learning. We need to learn. We need to understand the module with our own understanding. We need to understand it, and it also says here that educator need to help students examine them learning preferences and expand or modify them. So this is the teacher here, the instructor who is giving the module. So they also need to help the students to understand the module. So they have also the different way, like they do online classes to explain the module to the students. So next, we have learning and diversity. Learning is most effective when differences in learners' linguistic, cultural, and social backgrounds are considered. The same basic principle of learning, motivation, and effective instructions apply to all learners. However, language, ethnicity, race, beliefs, and socioeconomic status all can influence learning. Careful attention to these factors in instructional settings enhances the possibilities for designing and implementing appropriate learning environment. When learners perceive that their individuals' differences in abilities, backgrounds, cultures, and experiences are valued, respected, and accommodated in learning tasks and contexts, levels of motivation and achievement. In this learning and diversity, we have our own unique way to how we understand the module. Some of the students, they get it from the Google or any source in the internet, and some of the students, they get it from their relatives or parents, and some also the students, they have already the knowledge on how to understand the module. So we also consider it the linguistic and cultural and social backgrounds are considered here in the in learning and diversity. We need to consider also the abilities, backgrounds, and cultures. Like for example, in the abilities, some of the students, they have disabilities in their body, and the backgrounds, we need to consider it also because some of the students, they have family background, family problem background, they also have that. So it also affect in learning of the students. So yeah, that's it for learning and diversity. Next, we have standards and assessment. Standard and assessment settings appropriately high and challenging standards and assessing the learner as well as learning progress, including diagnostic, process and outcome assessment, are integral parts of the learning process. Assessment provides important information to the both learner and teacher at all stages of the learning process. Effective learning takes place when learner feel challenged to work towards appropriately high goals. Therefore, appraisal of the learner's cognitive strength and weaknesses, as well as current knowledge and skills, is important for the selection of the instructional material of an optimal degree of difficulty. Ongoing assessment of the learner's understanding of the curricular material can provide valuable feedback to the both learners and teachers about progress towards the learning goals. Standardized assessment of learner progress and outcomes assessment provides one type of information about achievement levels both within and across individuals that can inform various types of programmatic decision. Performance assessment can provide other source of information about the attainment of learning outcomes. Self-assessment of learning progress can also improve students' self-appraisal skills and enhance motivation and self-directed learning. So in standard and assessment, bale involved dito yung mga teachers. Bale for example, the teacher gives the students pre-assessment test, like they test the students if these students here she also have the knowledge on how to answer this module, and this student here she don't have the knowledge pa, parang wala pa siyang alam. And bale if the students really wants to be on the top, she wants to be an honor student, so yung study niya, bale tataas yung appraisal of studying. Bale yeah, in these standards and assessment, the teachers test the students if the teachers give the students some diagnostic test to test the students. And that's all. Thank you, guys.